Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. Yay! Today's quite an exciting day because we are off to do another interview, and this time we are going to be interviewing a very good friend, pal of mine called Jak. Not only is he my hairdresser, I've just kind of semi-dried my hair, he also owns the wine shop here in Louth, in our town, and I sometimes work for him in the wine shop. And so we're going to be talking all things festive Christmas wine and spirits, etc. But I thought I would just do a little get ready with me makeup with you this morning while we have a little chat about Vlogmas and how all your festivities are going. December is running away from me, and so is Vlogmas actually, but it all seems to be good. And today I've got my kind of sparkly jumper on. This I got from Bowden, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you a couple of really lovely Bowden festive jumpers, kind of I suppose they're not really Christmas jumpers, you know, with the whole Father Christmas on there on the front, but they're really, really nice and really good quality. And this jumper I've had for a few seasons now, actually. So yeah, they're really, really nice. So if you are looking for a kind of festive Christmas jumper, then you can't go wrong with this. So what am I putting on today? So the first thing that I put on is my brightening serum, and this is by Terry. This brightening serum, and it works as a kind of glowy base for me. I really love it. I alternate between that one and the Supernova, the Vive as well. That's the other one that I alternate with. When I want more hydration, I use the Vive. But today is not necessary. Today I just want a little bit of kind of glow. And the By Terry products are absolutely beautiful. They have, most of them that I've used have this kind of rose scent to them. So they're really, really lovely when you put them on. So yeah, I'm just doing a very kind of light base as well, light foundation. So what I'm putting on there is I am putting on my Hourglass veil, and the number is 9. This stuff is absolutely wonderful. Between this one and between, again, Vive, I'm giving a call out to Vive today, aren't I? Between that and Vive, this Vive Skin Nova Complexion Balm. This is a little heavier, but this stuff is wonderful. This stuff I use most of the time, actually. And I'm putting it on here with my little brush that I use. I love this brush because when you use it, it doesn't leave kind of cakiness, and also it doesn't leave streaks as well. I really love it. So I am just going to get on and put on some makeup here. Then we're going to go and see Jak. That's going to take up most of the day, I would think, actually, because I want to do quite a concise interview of his wine choices from the wine shop. I'm going to be working there for a couple of days over December as well. I think end of next week, just to kind of help him out a little bit and also get my wine knowledge up a little bit as well, of what wines there are. So I'm going to put on a bit of concealer, and this year I do two things. This time of year I do two things. The first thing is I always put on my Erborian BB eye cream. They make, also does a BB foundation, which is my favorite foundation. that I use. But they also do an eye product as well that you can use as concealer. Now sometimes, and the reason why I put it on first is sometimes it's all I need. Other times I just then put something a little bit heavier over the top. But sometimes it gives you a little bit of coverage, and actually I think I'm going to leave that as it is today. If I want something else, then I'm going to put my Shiseido over the top of it just for a little bit of heavier coverage. But I'll just put the makeup on first and then we'll see. But this stuff is fabulous. And again, Erborian, not only do they kind of do makeup covering products, they also do products that work with the skin. A lot of Korean companies do that actually. They use things that help with your skin texture and with your skin as well as being makeup. I'm just going to put a little bit of coverage on my scar here, on my bite. I just use a MAC concealer on that. That'll do. I'm not really fussed too much by it. So that's that. And then for my eyeshadow today, I am going to use Vive again. Let's give a call out to Vive because this palette, I go to this palette a lot, and I will show you why. So this palette is the Vive Essentials palette, and I use it a lot because, let me just show you the colours. You can see they're all colours that, I mean, that I would wear definitely. These are more towards summer colours here. We've got nice little, we've got two shimmery ones here for festive for this time of year. And then these are the ones that I use mainly with that one as a base. And I just absolutely love it. The product goes on beautifully. You can build it. It's not too heavy to start off with. And you get the beautiful kind of natural colours to it. You can get this palette from Vive themselves, or you can get it from other companies as well. But for a Christmas present for someone, I think it's a great, great, great palette. So let's just put this on. So the main colours that I use are Delicious, which is one of my favourite words. I use it a lot. And Lava Rock, and I've just put a little bit of this on as well. This is Good Night, just like a bit of an eyeliner on the top of the lid as well. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful eye palette, beautiful products, makeup products from Jamie Genevieve. L'Oreal mascara. L'Oreal makes great mascara, and this is the Voluminous ×4 mascara that I really love. I will link everything below that I'm using. The brush on this is beautiful, really nice brush. And I don't think you can go wrong with L'Oreal mascaras, to tell you the truth. I think I've got another one in there as well. I remember getting a kind of limited edition one. I tend to always go towards black. In the summer, I sometimes wear brown mascara. But yeah, I always tend to go towards black. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to put on this. This blush is fantastic. I got this from Amazon, and I will link this below. It's by Physicians Formula. It has all these different colours in it, and it's absolutely fabulous. It gives a really lovely kind of bronzy, glowy look as well. That's more or less it. Let's look. What are we going to put on the lips today? Shall we do? I'm just going to do a little lip gloss, and this is just a Lancome Juicy Tubes, and I think it might be, it's just an original one. I'm going to do that. But Lancome, they usually at Christmas, I'll have a look for you, they usually at Christmas do little sets of their Juicy Tubes. Another really good Christmas present. I'll have a look for you, and if I find something, I'll link that below as well. There we are. Right, I'll just go and finish my hair, put on a few bits of jewellery, and then we are off to see Jak. So I'll see you there. Hello everybody! So here I am in one of my favourite places with one of my favourite people. This is Jak Bakewell. I thought it would be a really good idea to come into this gorgeous wine cellar and talk wine for Vlogmas and wine for Christmas. It's important to us, to Mr. N and I. It's important to Jak as well. And here we are very, very lucky in our town to have this little den or cellar because it's very, very special, I would say, definitely. So here is Jak. Let's talk to Jak and just get a little bit of a background as to why, first of all, the building, the venue is incredible.
It's a gorgeous building, isn't it?
It is.
I'm really, really proud of it. This was, when I bought the building, this was just a cellar. It had no, it was just a storage facility, part of, I think, the old caves that would have gone through to what is now the Specsavers building onto Mercer Row.
Huh.
There was no windows in the front there, so it was just a sort of lean-to, and we managed to get permission to use it as a retail space, which was really exciting to then be able to put the windows in, open it up, and allow it to be used. You know, because it is just a stunning little space. You know, it's small, but it's quirky, it's interesting. So yeah, I really love the building.
And let's talk about the murals here as well, because that's really, really clever. It was originally murals. Murals, yeah. It was originally just not painted, I'm assuming. Was it painted?
No, it was just whitewash painted. You know, there's nothing in here. It was just purely storage. So an artist called Mary Dorr from Scunthorpe, she came and she was in here for about 3 weeks, aging it, adding all this like sort of aging feature to it, and then she layered up the grapevines. And actually, in some ways, the light actually hides some of the detail, but when you look, there's all sorts of different bits. And one thing that I like to do now, whenever we do a wine tasting or have people down here, I'm not sure if there's a bit just behind you, Sue, there. I have everybody write.
Oh, it's like a graffiti wall now.
So there's bits of graffiti all over the walls, and so I love it. I hope that it just ages and continues to age and gets older and older looking, but also is a little catalogue of the people that have spent time here and enjoyed an evening. Yeah.
And Jak, you mainly do wine tastings, don't you?
Yeah, so it's mostly wine tastings. We do private group tastings where we all sit around this table. You can have up to 10 people, which is really good because you've got the whole space to yourselves. Everyone can be as loud as they want, get as raucous as they like, but also hopefully learn something. So we go through normally 8 wines on one of those tastings. We'll do probably a sparkling, 3 whites, 3 reds, a dessert wine and a port. And the cheese shop in town, I'm sure you'll have mentioned them before, always do beautiful platters of cheeses and pâtés and quiches and all sorts. And so people just come down, spend the whole night, learn a little bit about wine, spend some time with friends, family, get works dues, gets together like that. And it's just really, really fun. It's a really fun night.
I notice here that all of your bottles have got little labels on, okay? And it tells you where they come from, what country they come from, what grape it is, and then you put what they work well with, like food-wise. And now we're gonna talk about the festive season and going into the festive season. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. The first question is, I'm hosting a party, a Christmas do, and I'm going to just have canapes, I would say. So what's your first thing you would go to?
So your canapé is going to be sort of an arrival, sort of mooching round, bringing something down. I mean,
little fingery things.
I mean, everybody, when they first arrive, want a bit of fizz, don't they?
Right.
Fizz just seems, you know, fizz is just, it lifts the mood. Everyone's a bit thirsty. They want something that's just going to quickly quench that thirst and also clean the palate and help whatever you're serving. So, so depending on if you're doing sort of salmon bellinis, then definitely champagne is going to be wonderful to go with that. But you know, if it's sort of lighter foods, so let me think what would be good. Anything sort of more fruity, then I would look more to go along the sort of Prosecco side. If you've got a dinner party and you're going to potentially be open, you know, you've got 20 people coming, you're going to maybe open 3 or 4 bottles, then I would definitely look to maybe try a Cremant. So Cremants are a sparkling wine from other regions of France. Sorry, so Champagne effectively is a Cremant. It's a sparkling wine from the Champagne region. But because Champagne as a region is very, very expensive, because of the land and everything else, then if you look to go to, say, a Crémant de Bourgogne, so a Crémant from Burgundy, it's going to be made potentially, you know, pretty much always with Chardonnay, or a blend of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, so the same grapes that are grown in the Champagne region.
Yeah.
But you are not paying Champagne prices for this. You're looking to pay about £20 a bottle rather than the £40 a bottle that you'd start with really for Champagne.
So now I'm a guest coming to a do with canapes. What do I bring as a present? Is that a different thing because I want to look like I'm a Krug person? Do I want to impress?
I will throw a canapé party just for you to bring me some Krug. So if that's what you're going to bring, I'm not going to stop you.
Again, it's about, I don't know. Do you find that people talk budget or not really?
I think it's very interesting. That's where, I mean, I'm jumping off a little bit, but as a shop, that's something that becomes really important, because if someone comes in here and they're going to spend £45 on some sparkling for someone.
On one bottle.
I can give them a champagne at £44 or an English sparkling at £40, they'll go for the champagne because they feel that the person they're gifting it to will see value in champagne, but maybe think they're passing off another bottle if it's English sparkling. And this is such a shame.
It is a shame.
Because English sparkling is absolutely wonderful. We are genuinely really, really good at producing sparkling wine. Sussex is now a protected designation of origin. So that means that the grapes that are grown there, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, the same as Champagne, it's got to be made in traditional method. It's hand harvesting the grapes. It is, and obviously as we've broken away from mainland Europe millennia ago, we've got the same sort of soils. And as global warming takes place, the climate in Sussex is what the Champagne region was sort of experiencing through sort of the 80s and things. So this is now getting nice and warm. And that's why we're a genuine threat to Champagne. And Taittinger have just bought up big parcels of Kent.
Yes, they have.
And are releasing their own. So please try English sparkling.
Yeah.
And I think if you go at similar price points, actually, although it seems expensive for English sparkling, you're going to get a much higher standard of something. You know,
have you got anything you can show us, Jak?
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
So Rathfinny are definitely one of my favourite. These are a family producer, Sussex. So we're looking for traditional method, which is written on the bottle. Sussex, England, then we know it's protected. So Rathfinny, for example, this is their classic cuvee, and this is made with the same 3 grapes as any of the house champagnes, whether that be Moet and Chandon or Veuve Clicquot, Yellow Label, all of the house non-vintage. This is a non-vintage. They then do a rosé, and they do a Blanc de Blanc and a Blanc de Noir, so kind of the collection of what you'd expect from most champagne houses as well. So yeah, they're definitely one of my go-to that I put in wine tastings very regularly.
All the time.
And it's always a real crowd pleaser. Okay, so so this would be another one that I often recommend. So this is from a producer called Jan's. And it's a Tasmanian sparkling, and it's made with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Again, there's Champagne grapes, similar climate, traditional method, but you're looking to pay around £20 a bottle for this. So for me, if you were wanting to have a you want something a bit more special than a Prosecco, but you don't quite want to pay champagne prices, then that's where I think this just fits in. It's still got all the rich flavours, it's creamy, it's buttery, but it's also rich, it's rounded, it's just really, really good.
All right then, Jak, it is Christmas Day, and I would like to know, what are your white wine recommendations for my turkey?
Well, fortunately, white wine is often my go-to anyway. So there's the traditional expectation that obviously Chardonnay is just the best wine for turkey. So we've got 2 Chardonnays here. We've got a white Burgundy from Meursault, where you'll get like a really buttery, rich, creamy Chardonnay, but not overpoweringly woody or anything like that. Really good. It's going to go with, because of the richness of the turkey, it can stand up against it. And then we've got a Californian. Again, California probably the 2nd best region in the world really for producing fantastic Chardonnay in comparison to Burgundy. Either of those are going to be absolutely beautiful with your turkey, but they're also going to be great for your white wine drinkers if you were having beef. So this would be my personal take home Christmas Day wine. However, we've got this Gewürztraminer here, which would be great if you're doing turkey more on a fruity side. So this is going to go really well if you've got sort of an apricot and sausage stuffing. White Sauternes de Pape, again, rich, much more buttery, creamy on the sides of the Chardonnay. And then if you want something more sort of in the middle, Viognier is really lovely, and that's also much nicer with sort of herby styles turkey. So if you've got doing something much more sagey and herby, then I would maybe go more with the Viognier.
I've got a bottle on the end there, but we haven't talked about that. What's that one?
Okay, so here we've got our sweet wine.
Right.
Now, lots of people refer to that as a dessert wine, and I think in the wine world we're trying to avoid saying dessert wine because it suggests that it can only go with desserts. But a sweet wine, particularly a Sauternes from Bordeaux, so is made with Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc, and Sauternes is sort of the most famous sweet wine producing region. You know, you can pay absolute fortune for a bottle. But with this, you're going to get real honey and apricot flavours, sort of citrus fruit, orange peel, really zesty. But all of that honey and richness, the apricot is just absolutely stunning. Goes perfect with Christmas pudding. Absolutely perfect with Christmas pudding. And then it would also be great with like a rich pate starter, or with like some really strong sort of rich flavoured cheeses, blue cheeses. It would just cut through the sweetness. So you can get contrasting pairings and you can get complementary pairings.
Yeah.
So this is why we would say a sweet wine, because actually it would balance sort of the saltiness in cheeses and pâtés or foie gras, which I wouldn't normally. You know, so yeah, so I would definitely have a bottle of sweet wine and challenge people to try that as well.
Yeah, alternatives. Yeah, great. Let's go into the red room and talk about them. Right, here we are in the red room, and so let's talk about red wine with Christmas dinner. Should we still talk about turkey then?
I think so.
Yeah, let's talk about turkey.
I mean, that's going to be the main thing.
Yes, go on.
So when it comes to Christmas dinner then with turkey, most of the red wines we're looking for are things that are going to give us nice fruit flavours, not hugely high tannins, softer tannins, so that drying feeling that you get, because you want things that are going to go with like the cranberry, but also with the poultry, with turkey, and the fruitiness. So the most famous grape really for known to be going with Christmas dinner is Pinot Noir.
Right.
So Pinot Noir you can get sort of, again, its home is in Burgundy, where it creates quite earthy red wines. So they can just be that little bit richer. But another good place to look to is actually New Zealand for Pinot Noir.
So New Zealand's very popular.
New Zealand's Pinot Noir retains a lot more fruitiness to it. So I always think that's a really good place to go to. And some parts of the USA, like Oregon and things, I don't have any Oregon Pinot Noir, but it's another place that I would, if I saw it, I would get it. So yeah, so the Germany do some fantastic Pinot Noir. They call it Spätburgunder. This particular one from a region very close really to the French border. So we're really not far away from Burgundy, where you've got the most expensive Pinot Noirs in the world. But yeah, if you can find a good German Pinot Noir, it's just stunning. So that would be something I would look to try. Because again, that £32 bottle of Pinot Noir, actually we're going to be paying sort of 37-50 quid for Burgundies. And actually this is going to be slightly more fruitier. This is going to be more earthy and more leathery, and just a little bit more heady for Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
I think the fruitness of this.
Let's talk about beef. Beef is very popular.
Beef is still
isn't it?
the one to go. So this is where we can move into the richer food. So again, if we're going to go Pinot Noir, we're going to go for more of the heady Burgundies, I think. You know, developed something with a bit more age. You've got something, you know, quite an expensive meat, haven't you? So let's not undersell that by serving it with not a great wine. You know, you need to have something a bit special. But if we move on from Pinot Noir, obviously a famous one would always be Sauternes de Pape, people love, but to me it seems a little bit typical. So there are interesting things. I mean, Cabernet Sauvignon is probably one of my favourites to go with it, and also because of its pepperiness, Shiraz. So we can go Syrah if we're going to Côte Rôtie from the Rhone Valley, but also something like the Tourbrec, something like a Shiraz from Torbeck. So fantastic Australian producer. But yeah, any sort of more age-worthy and kept Shiraz would be beautiful to go. And then of course you've got your Bordeaux.
And
So your
Bordeaux,
classic
yeah.
Bordeaux, again, were going to be great to have with your beef, and potentially, if it's a lighter one, more probably from the right bank, as we term it, then I would say that would be more to go with your turkey
as
and
well.
beef. Yeah.
Jack, let's talk about port now. So you have got Graham's port here. Mr. N and I went to Graham's, and Jack's been to Graham's as well in Porto. What a fantastic place. Did you ate in the restaurant?
We did,
yeah. It's a wonderful place. Well, anyhow, that's another vlog. So we've got two here. What are they?
So port comes in a few different styles. So we get a ruby port, we get tawny ports, we get LBVs, late bottle vintage, we get vintage ports, and you get white ports as well now. Ruby port is much, obviously you get that deep purple colour, more youthful and slightly on the more sweeter side, but real fruitiness with it. If I was to pick my favourite port to have, it would always be tawny. And what I found is you can get tawny ports that are 10, 20, 30, 40 years old. But a 10-year-old tawny for me is just perfect. So reason for calling it tawny is because it gets this sort of browned colour as it gets older. So the older the tawny, the more brownish it will look. Because as a red wine ages, it turns more brown. As white wine ages, it turns more brown. They almost meet in the middle. So the reason for giving it that is the oxygen ingress. So this has had a lot of oxidization to create a tawny port, and that's what gives you these sort of hazelnut, toffee, caramel, walnuts, all these really rich flavours that again go perfect with Christmas pudding, whereas this is going to be much more plums and damsons and brambles and real sort of quite jammy flavours.
So Jack, what are you going to have for Christmas?
Funny you should ask. I thought you might do, so I laid some out for you here. Okay, so I'm going to start with champagne. So I am going to, break even sort of what I've said, but it's Christmas Day. Giraud is one of the most fabulous champagne producers. That again, still has been family owned for since the 1800s. And they use Argonne oak from the Argonne forest just outside where they are, producing their champagne. Pinot Noir dominant, which is my style of champagne. I prefer the real rich flavours that you get from more a dominance of Pinot Noir in your champagne. Fabulous. So Esprit Nature. Then I am, like I say, more of a white drinker, so it's going to be a Meursault for me. It's always Meursault. If I'm going to have a white Burgundy, Meursault just has, it's not as woody and oaky as what you might get from a Macron Village, but it gives you a lot more punch than, say, your Chablis. So this is going to be beautiful. The German
we've
Pinot
got the
Noir,
Pinot Noir
that I said about earlier. So they're going to be my options for people to choose between white and red. I'm definitely going to go with the German Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Or Spätburgunder, as we say. And then when it comes to finishing off, I'm going to do some Tokay with Christmas pudding.
Oh, right. Why?
I just love Tokay.
You
so
like
again, like the Sauternes, we're getting honey, apricot, orange peel, all of these lovely rich fruit flavours. It's just going to be, the sweetness is going to balance out the richness of the Christmas pudding as well. They're going to sit alongside. So the key with sweet wines is that you want the sweetness, if you're going to pair it with the sweet food, you want the sweetness of the wine to outweigh the sweetness of the dessert.
Yes.
And then of course I'm going to have cheese. Of course I'm going to have cheese. So I'm going to have the cheese and my 10-year-old Tawny. This is me.
That's
In fact, I'm going to box these up now and take them home.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Wow, how amazing. Fantastic. All right, thank you, Jack, very much for showing us around the wine cellar. I've really enjoyed being here today because I'm always learning something new. It's fantastic. And I hope that this has helped you as well. Make your mind up. You don't have to watch any other video now about choosing what you want to have for Christmas, for your Christmas dinner, for your lead up to Christmas. It's all there for you. And everything about the wine cellar will be linked below as as well. And if you're in this area, in Lincolnshire or in Louth, please come and have a look and go to one of Jak's wine tastings. I will be going to one of his wine tastings next year if I can get in, that's for sure. And that's about the size of it, I would say.
Thank you.
Yes, so we've had a great time. Tonight we are going to have a very seasonal dish for this time of year. Mr. N has whipped up a lovely mix here of chicken, I can see carrot, there is kale, there's mushroom in here and mustard, and I am going to put some puff pastry on top and we're going to have a pie.